Hello. Hi, everybody. My name's Audrey and I'm from downtown Alabama. Welcome to the... You know, when you watch those shows, those like game shows, those American TV shows, they don't make... Anyway, let me just do an introduction before I get into all of that.
But
Hi,
that's a point. They
don't make good game shows anymore, but we'll get to that. Hi guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Your Receipts. The episode where we help you guys out with all of your problems, your dilemmas, any issues you might be facing, whether they're at home, whether they're at work, whether they're with your spouse, your husband, your girlfriend, and all of that good stuff in between.
It's your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey. When I was waving like a mindless idiot and saying that I'm from Alabama, it just reminded me of those game shows. And we don't really have them anymore. Do you remember like Family Fortune still comes on actually?
Well, Steve Harvey does it now.
Does he? Steve Harvey in America, but who does it here? Gino DeCampo does it here, doesn't he?
Okay, that's not bad.
Oh yeah, God, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. That works.
Yeah, Family Fortunes, the Generation Game. Is it Generation Game?
It is that.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when they're backstage when they come on. It's like, hey.
Gina, and look, from Stockport.
And we're going to win.
Yeah, man.
I'm here to pay for my sister and we love it. We're going to win. Yeah.
Make game shows great again, man.
What one would you go on? What one would you think as a pair we would smash?
Okay, so I think that we could cheat on Deal or No Deal.
We absolutely cheat.
We could cheat on Deal or No Deal. We could do something. Otherwise, Golden Balls. If we both went on Golden Balls and we could just pretend to be strangers and then at the end, just split the money.
Yeah.
So Golden Balls.
And if it was someone else, we steal it, then we still split it.
Exactly. So Golden Balls is really good. I don't know that I want to do one that's like trivia based because that's too risky. I need one that's more based on luck. So I think honestly, Deal or No Deal is like a bit of me because that's pure luck.
Yeah, I think when it's like questions and answers. Do you know when they start asking questions about which country was the
Yeah, I'm lost, mate.
I can't lie to you.
After that, it's over.
I haven't. I've got so deep in TikTok the other day. As in, honestly, I think my screen time is going to be 24 hours.
Same.
But I got to think of this guy who does train trivia. And it's called a trivia line.
I've seen him.
I love it.
Nick follows him on. He's a British guy, isn't it? Light skin guy. Yeah. Nick follows him on YouTube.
Yeah. So he'll be like, I'm at a station where I can only get the Victoria, Elizabeth, and District line. What station am I on?
Wait, hang on. What's the question?
I'm at a train station and I can only get Victoria line, Elizabeth line, or District line. What train station am I in? I've made that up I've picked that up from the bus. I don't actually know if that's the station, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But I can do it if you want to.
Yeah, you can ask me one because I think I know the tube.
I feel like I know the District line very well.
I know the tube system quite well, I would say.
Oh, would you?
I think I do just because for so long I never had a car and I was just, a foot soldier and just up and about and using public transport. So I think I think I could.
Okay, I'm at a train station. And I can get the Hammersmith and City line, District line, Overground, and C2C. Where am I?
Stratford.
Nope.
No, wait. What was it? Hammersmith and City?
Hammersmith and City line, District line, Overground, and the C2C.
Overground and C2C. Fenchurch Street?
No, actually. You can only get the C2C there.
Oh. Hammersmith and
City line, District line, Overground, and the C2C.
Overground and C2C. Do you know what? I'm working backwards. So I'm trying to think of where the C2C goes.
Yeah. That's the ticker.
Not Stratford, not Fenchurch Street.
French, you know the answer? That's why, yeah. Duh, because I'm just...
Hammersmith and City.
Hammersmith and City line, District line, Overground, and the C2C. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
I might link my ting at Barking.
Oh, yeah.
You at Barking Station, honey.
Barking Station. That is actually very true.
It's actually quite accessible, actually, considering where it is.
It is very accessible. Yeah.
But I actually, I was on that man's page for ages. I don't think I got many vibes, but I was like, this is so cool.
He proper knows his stuff about trains. And I do love people that have obscure, interests and hobbies and, fanatics of not weird things, but weird things.
Yeah. Yes, I don't think we'll do great trivia.
No, definitely not trivia.
Physical, maybe a little bit. we'll do physical.
If there was a physical and theory part, I could do the theory part and then you could do the physical part.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we'd be a good team there. But I remember there was this episode of Sister where they went on this game show and they really wanted to win. I can't remember what they really wanted to win, but there was like a twin episode. It was Tia and Tamira up against Mary Kate and Ashley. But this was like on Sister, but it was a real Nickelodeon show. They used to collaborate. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok trend where they're like the 90s like black sitcoms and it's like yeah. And so so they had like this combined episode and Tia was obviously the brainy twin and Tamira was like the more dense twin.
Yeah.
So they went on the show and then Tia was supposed to like answer all the trivia and then Tamira was going to get dumped with slime if Tia got it wrong.
We could do that.
But yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Tia froze.
Oh,
so they were asking all these questions and Tia froze. No. And the thing is, Tamira had invited the guy, her crush, to come and watch. So he's in the audience watching and then Tia just froze. They were like, oh, he was the first president to do that. And Tia was just like stood there with her mouth open and then Tamira was just getting slimed. And she was so pissed, yeah. And then the next round, she was just like, Tia, I know I'm going to get slimed again because you're just going to thingy. And she was like, oh, maybe, she was like, let me take over. Let me get stuck. Let me get slimed. So they swapped positions, but then the question, the trivia was Coolio.
Oh, so Tamira was smashing it.
Like, it was such a good episode.
I really miss TV tropes. Do you know, like, you just know exactly what's going to happen. I love television tropes. I really
missed it. Like when, TV was just so wholesome. But that just reminded me.
When you're talking about that, it made me think of she woke up and it was all a dream.
Oh, yeah.
I used to bang every story in English. When I was stuck,
exactly, when you couldn't think of a good ending.
She woke up and it was all a dream. I remember our English teacher had to be like, you lot are not allowed to end stories like that anymore.
Yeah, because it's not thingy.
Yeah, they're like, you are not allowed. But anytime I was stuck and she woke up and it was all a dream. The end. All a dream. Beautiful ending. Anyway, dilemmas. The start. Firstly, I'd like to give you both your flowers. And thank you so much for being the internet's big sisters. Hearing from you both every Monday and Wednesday is giving me something to consistently look forward to. Tolly, your style and the way you carry yourself is impeccable. And I definitely want to be just like you. Thank you. Audrey, you're hilarious. Make motherhood look so enjoyable. Thank you for always keeping it real. On to my dilemma. I'm in my early 30s and in my first real relationship and I have no idea what I'm doing. My boyfriend, let's call him Craig, is the most kind, secure, thoughtful, intentional man, and he checks all the boxes on paper. We have great chemistry, share a sense of humour, similar backgrounds, our goals and visions for the future align, and I could seriously see myself with him long term.
Nice.
We're still learning what works for us in terms of sex, so it's not amazing at the moment, but good. We met at a time where I was especially leaving a situationship and having a difficult time at work. Things in our long-distance relationship were going well until recently when a situationship, let's call him Matthew, started coming back around. He'd bring up old times, send memes of our insiders, check in on me, ask to hang out, etc. I was good at going no contact, but on a night out with my friends, he was also in the same place. I got super drunk and he offered to let me crash at his. We ended up sleeping together.
No.
I instantly felt awful in the morning, but knew I wanted nothing to do with Matthew. There was no redeeming qualities about him. I feel like it was a moment of weakness combined with missing Craig. Sorry. I was thinking about you the whole time.
I was thinking of Craig David.
No, it made me think of when men cheat. And they were like, but I was thinking about you the whole time.
Yeah.
So what? And do you know what's mad? Maybe I was thinking of Craig David because he says Greg. He doesn't even say Craig. He says Greg. And I keep saying Craig.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I keep saying Craig David. I keep saying Craig, but the word says Greg. Maybe I'm thinking of Craig David.
Oh my God.
I also know that doesn't make it excusable. I don't want to leave Greg, but I'm not sure what to do now. Nobody knows this happened. Not my girls, my therapist, mum, nobody. Can I take this to the grave? Is it possible to just continue as nothing happened? Help. Okay. So we had a similar dilemma like this last week, right? Where she had a 4-month affair and I was just like, go tell that man. In this situation, I won't say shit.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why, but it's just incredibly different. I know it's both cheating and it's both bad, but I think the fact that it was one night, you know you are not going to do it again. I don't think I'll tell. In fact, I will not tell so much. I would forget it happened.
Yeah, just forget, delete this email. You know,
block Matthew.
Yeah, forget about it. The only thing I will say, not that she should, I don't think she should confess. So I totally agree with that. I think that it's not worth kind of creating like ripples in your relationship this soon over a one night stand. That's essentially what it was. It didn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. But I do think you need to interrogate this thing about this Matthew person.
Okay.
Because if you bumped into him at this party or whatever it was, are you going to see him again? Is this something that could potentially happen again? He was a situationship. You clearly had something towards him because that's why you ended up doing what you did. So I think that I wouldn't go and ruin Greg's day with this information, but you really need to think about this Matthew situation and make sure that you don't find yourself in this situation again. Because sometimes when we have like, you know, we have these situationships, we have these guys that have a bit of a hold on us. Like we kind of find ourselves in places that they're going to be at. Do you know what I mean?
Do we?
Yeah. So I think that like you shouldn't do that because I think it's quite dangerous territory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think definitely think about that side of things because there's something that led you to sleep with him. And then I think it's not lost on me as well that she'd mentioned that the sex wasn't really all that.
Yeah.
In at the moment they're figuring it out.
And also they're long distance.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, to get to the nooks and cranny of it, no, don't say anything. I don't think it's worth the ag. I think that you're gonna create like problems in your relationship. You're gonna create trust issues in your relationship. So I wouldn't say a word.
And for what? Yeah, I know it's contradictory to what I said last time, but I think it's different.
But you did caveat it with saying that if it was a one night stand, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If it's just like
and this is a one night stand.
And you're not going to do it again. But also, I think sometimes when you like, do you know when you're saying how sometimes you find yourself in these places with the people that you know you're going to like, you like, right? And I think sometimes you think you can outsmart yourself.
Yeah,
like, no, I'm struggling in that. This
but once the alcohol hits, and the thing is, I think that you go in there with that mindset though.
Yeah, like,
but then when the alcohol hits and the vibes are right and the person's there and they smell like Chanel Bleu, then it's a bit, that's when it becomes a bit techie. And I think that in those situations, that's where you have to really have like the discipline of a goat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or
like
just don't go.
Of an ox.
Do you
or just don't go.
Just don't put yourself in where temptation. Just
exactly.
Don't.
And because she's done it and it's happened, I would implore that you do not do that again.
Yeah, like there's certain things you know you're going to be weak around, but I can be like, I'm not eating carbs all I want. If I go somewhere with pasta,
if you go to a place called Carbolicious,
I'm ordering pasta.
You're going to order a pasta, you're going to have some bread. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm going to love it. Yeah. I'm going to have a good time eating it. Same way if I'm like, I'm not going to drink tonight, then I go to a bar. Like, it doesn't
really make sense. Yeah.
I'll probably have a little drink.
Exactly. And you kid yourself being like, one can't hurt.
Yeah,
blah, blah.
exactly.
And it's the same thing with the men. It's like you see them, you're like, I'll just go over and say hi. And then you have a glass of wine.
Hug that's for too
and then
long.
you go over again and you're just like, so how was your... And then the next thing you know, you're leaving with them.
And the man knew what he was doing when he said he can crash at man. Because you could have gone home.
Oh, 100%. You could have put you in an Uber.
Yeah. I'm sure you didn't go out by yourself. You was with your friends. So, girl, don't do that again.
Yeah, don't do that again. Slap on the wrist for you, ma'am.
And shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and don't say a word to that man. Next dilemma?
Next dilemma.
Okay, cool. Hi there. Please don't say my name on the podcast. I have not written in before, but felt compelled to do so. I heard the episode about the person's sister who was experiencing domestic abuse. It was such a difficult situation, and I think you handled it well. I really feel for everyone involved. My message is, as there are children in the house, they are at serious risk and a child protection referral to social services needs to be made by someone before it's too late. She can contact the council where her sister lives. The sister can do it anonymously if needs be. The family must be known to social services and the police. As she mentioned, a social worker has been involved, but social services need to know now what the kids are going through. That has to be the focus. They are at risk physically and emotionally and are able to articulate this. They do not want to be in that house and are being traumatized daily. The wedding is not the key matter here. If the kids get hurt or worse by the man, that is the priority. However, if there is more professional support in place, the husband may be given restraining orders, etc., which would impact on his ability to attend the wedding as well. That's a good point.
Yeah.
There are systems in place, i.e. third-party witness statements and legal support for children to have a voice. There are lots of charities about domestic abuse. The sister can also contact them for support. There is something called MARAC, which sounds like the sister would meet the criteria for. See the link below. I would also consider getting legal advice about who can take on the children if the sister isn't able to leave the relationship and the children need to be removed, either as an emergency or planned. Forewarned is forearmed. Please can you find a way to get this advice to the sister to contact social services about the risk of the children?
The thing is, this charity, they're American.
Yeah, they're American.
Like, I like the charity. I think thank you for this email, firstly. And I think it's great you mentioned the charity. I'm sure the charity can have like more broad advice for domestic violence victims, but I don't know how much they can do for someone who is in America. It's like, again, I've thought about this dilemma consistently. And I think people are assuming that I'm saying don't try to help those children. I don't think someone who has been domestically abused for 15 years, the family have not tried to do anything. You can't convince me that the family just like, oh well.
Yeah, I think even to get to the point where the dilemma is about the invite.
About the invite, I think this family has tried consistently. So my point wasn't they're like, oh yeah, don't worry about those kids. Think about your wedding. My assumption is that it's been 15 years of abuse. I don't doubt that like social services or whatever the equivalent is in America is called. And also my assumption is if your partner stabs you, you go to hospital, the police will be like, hey, there's kids in that house. What should we do about that? I don't think this is a case that hasn't been forwarded.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because my assumption is like, again, if he stabs you, police will be involved. They'll figure out it's a domestic partner. And they'll figure out there's children in the house. I think these things are in hand. So don't get me wrong in thinking that I'm like, oh, fuck those kids or whatever. I think, and also I'm dealing with what she emailed us about. My assumption is that the family is trying very, very hard to sort the situation out.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what the rules are in America. I don't know.
Same. And I think this is beneficial because we get emails like this.
For anyone going through
it. For anyone else going through this, if you're in the UK, this is just some really good advice about what to do if that situation affects you being in the UK. But yeah, absolutely. It's a very tricky, difficult situation because it's like, you don't want to undermine the person that's written in because I get it. Like the context, like in the background story is absolutely mad and not something you can gloss over. And I don't think we glossed over it at all. I think we
didn't.
Interrogated every single angle of it. And it was a really difficult one for both of us to answer. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like we tried our best, but yeah, very much appreciate that email. But yeah, they were in America, just as an FYI, in case anybody didn't pick that up.
Yeah. And I honestly, my assumption is if someone has gone to hospital, the police has to be involved in why you're here. Surely.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's like that here.
The social services get involved and they go see the kids.
If they think it's a domestic situation, then yeah, they will be on hand at the hospital and all the rest of it. So yeah, I don't know. It's very hard though.
Yeah.
That dilemma did.
And I think
really
even they've asked, she should take those kids away from her sister. It doesn't work like that. I don't think you understand the amount of steps that people have to go through. I've had family members in the UK that it's like, oh, this is a dodgy situation. And like one of my aunties looks after my nephew. One of my aunties looks after her nephew, And the mum hates her. Because in her mind, you took my kid away from me. And that's how she sees it. You take my child away from me and like, she doesn't talk to her.
Yeah. And I guess the person that's being abused as well, it's like in their mind, it might be the one thing that they're doing right, or do you know what I mean? It's their one thing that they've got, and now, I don't know, it's very tricky. I don't even want to.
The police absolutely have to be involved. My assumption is that they would have been because he stabbed her.
Yeah. With a hammer.
Well, like, there's stabbing and then there was hammer. These are two different like events. But yeah. So this title of this next one's made me laugh. Next dilemma. Hi ladies, I can't believe I'm actually writing a dilemma in. I've been listening to you guys since I was in year 11 and I'm now 3 years post-uni in my big job. We are old, Jesus Christ.
I know, we've been around for a hot minute.
We are old. Your podcast has really gotten me through some tough breakups, romantic and friendships. And listening to you guys 3 times a week, shout out to Money Gang, is really a moment I look forward to every week. I get so excited to see a big guest on the show and just so proud of how much you guys have grown. Tolly, you're legit my biggest style inspo and I'm always in your DMs gazing you up or asking where something is from. Please never stop giving us looks. Audrey, you are such a lovely mother to Anaya and an amazing model of how to age gracefully and remain unapologetically you.
Oh, I love that. That is so nice. I love that for me. Age appropriate all the way. That's my bag.
I hope I can grow to be as great as a woman as you.
Oh, thank you.
I pray that you guys keep flourishing and reaching greater heights in Jesus' name. Amen. So this is too long. It's fine. You said nice things about us.
Exactly.
Okay, so this dilemma might sound a bit silly. I don't know. But I feel like my boyfriend tricked me into falling in love with him. That's how they get us, girl. Hear me out. When we met 2 years ago, he always used to wear hats. And me being the young 20...
I'm already laughing, sorry.
And me being the young 22-year-old, I was never really thought much of it. Girl, you have to take that hat off in the next... early. Our romance was pretty whirlwind and I fell hard and fast for him. And before I knew it, I was in so deep. Well, it wasn't until that my boyfriend started being more comfortable around me. I took off his hat. Oh, he has a funny head shape. And his hair at the time was slightly receding. Not too major, but it was definitely the beginning of the end. He was just 23 at the time, so I don't know what wicked he had done in a previous relationship. In his previous relationship that has caused this, but Isha had already taken effect.
Oh my God.
Fast forward to now, and girls, it's really tough.
Oh no.
It's a really rough situation.
Oh no.
His receding hairline is really, really unflattering on him. And it just makes me feel like I'm an older man whenever he doesn't wear a hat, which is any time we're in the house. Oh, no. We are both in the prime of our youths and meant to be so hot.
Oh no.
I put a lot of maintenance into my appearance and I don't feel like it's the same the other way around. I've dropped hints.
Did you say you dropped out?
I dropped hints. He should get a transplant. But I think he feels quite complacent with the situation. I love him so much and he's a great boyfriend, but I don't know what to do. What do you guys think I should do? Oh, I don't think any of my friends that understand the issue. Their boyfriends have gorgeous hair.
Oh my God.
Boyfriends have gorgeous hair and I truly need some advice so much. If you read this dilemma, sign a loyal listener.
Oh my God. No, that is so
he
funny.
Bamboos the juices.
But also not.
But also not.
I know she's going through it. Like I can genuinely tell she's
yeah,
like
and hat fishing is a real thing.
Hat fishing is a real thing. And also I feel like the bigger issue here, I know we last week heard about men and their hairlines, but the bigger issue is an attraction thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, this hairline situation is impacting how she's attracted to him. And it's important. You know, I always say that you want to feel things for your partner. And it's different when like, you know, they've kind of let themselves go or they've gained a bit of weight because those things can be fixed quite quickly. Mm-hmm. Whereas this is like a...
He just shaves it off.
This is a follicle situation. It's a difollicle situation.
Oh, Audrey. Audrey! Mother of Anaya, wife of Nick, friend of Tolly T, you fucking prick.
Sorry, I just
say that again.
It's a difollicle situation. Sorry, I had to get that one off. I just had to.
That was great.
But I don't actually know what advice to offer. I don't know what advice to offer because if you feel this strongly about it, imagine how he feels.
The man feels like shit about
he
it.
He definitely feels like shit.
There's a reason why he wears the hat every time you go out.
At least he's got the decency to wear it in public.
There was a reason why
that is a man with self-awareness.
He didn't take a hat off 2 years in.
Yeah, 2 years in, that is crazy.
He was like, you're going to love me and then I'm going to reveal the real me.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, if he's not taking a transplant hints, I don't know what else you can say.
Yeah.
Unless you send him to shave it all off.
Because the thing is, because ordinarily I would be like, you know what, whatever the situation is, you need to sit down, you need to communicate. But I don't think it's very kind to sit someone down and tell them how badly you're, like how unattracted you are to them over something that they can't control.
I mean, he can.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, he can go and do something about it, but he can't help the fact that his hairline's receding.
No, he can't.
Do you know what I mean? So I just wouldn't want you to double down on something that he probably feels really shitty about.
Yeah.
And I know if that were me and I already had an insecurity and I acknowledged that and I was a very hypersensitive towards it. And then the person that's supposed to love me for me sits me down and is like, by the way, that thing that you can't control, that's not your fault. I think it's so ugly and I hate it. Like, that would actually make me so upset.
What I would do is one day I would just be like, I don't know, be rubbing his head lovingly. Do you know you can get them little things that like you can rub on their head to help grow, whatever. And I'd be like, babe, would you ever consider a hair transplant? I wouldn't hint it, I'll flat out say it.
Yeah, you have to say it. Yeah.
Like, would you ever consider one? If he was like, yeah, like if I had enough money, like depending on how much it costs. Yeah,
here's the check.
Written out to a transplant Turkey. Just for you.
Oh, you know what? I just happened to be speaking to someone in Turkey. Oh, man. I just happened to be speaking to a doctor that specialises in that.
He said he'll do it.
Name.
And I'm paid.
Exactly. Oh.
It's all covered.
Let's go.
I'll even come with you.
Exactly. Let's go.
We can make it a vacation. You do your hair thing. I'll look after you. We'll come home and have a head full of hair. Like Audrey said, ultimately it's a thing about attraction. It's how unattractive you think this thing is, right? Like that's ultimately what it is. And if it's so bad that you're like, I genuinely find him so unattractive, I can't be with him. Fair. It's not nice, but fair. Maybe it's not fair.
Do you think it's shallow to end a relationship that's perfect, but you just don't like their hairline?
Girl, I am 35. And then hairline has to be the least of my issue at this point. Question for you. Do I think it's shallow? I think it's shallow.
He's a great guy. He's not even ugly. It's just the just the hair.
We'll really have to get it fixed, you know.
Yeah.
I can't, because it's fixable now. Like I actually know a couple of men that have gone to go do it. It's actually very, very fixable. So I think I would have to go fix it. We'd save up together to fix it.
Because I don't think, that like all those other like tricks and potions and lotions and stuff work.
That spray thing annoys me.
And like the Bengay or whatever it's called. Is it called Bengay?
Oh, I hate that thing.
Brent.
Audrey, do you remember we were out?
It's so bad.
At Grime Gala. Was that?
Who was that again? Yeah, that was bad.
He was at the Grime Gala and it was a hot day and it was the GRM. I don't know how to call it Grime Gala, like I'm white. The GRM Gala. And it was on a rooftop, beautiful hot day. And it was hot. It was hot. And then he started sweating and you just saw. Bad. And it was funny because everybody in that conversation clocked it. We all looked at each other.
Just like trying to act as if this drip is
this drip of black that's coming off this man's face.
Black rain. Prince said purple rain. That was black rain.
It was
like dripping. That was bad.
And we just gave each other the eye and it was just, hey.
That's not a good thing. That one only do in winter check the weather before you do that Bengay shit.
Yeah, it can't be a sweaty day,
You can't sweat. It can't
you can't
rain.
Bengay and sweat,
It has to just be a cloudy day.
A cold day.
A cold, crispy day.
Cold day.
But I'm trying to think if it's shallow to walk away because I think it is shallow.
Yeah, by virtue of what shallow is, it is shallow, right? But also attractiveness is very important to some people.
Very much so, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Some people say, honestly, I can't get over it.
Yeah. And the hair thing
I feel like you can. She says she really loves him.
Yeah, I think because you really love him and you see his potential, I think the only thing you can do is really just push on this hair transplant thing. We don't know what his financial situation is, but you said that you've hinted and he kind of just glosses over it because I think he doesn't think you're being serious. But I wouldn't do it from the angle of, I find you so unattractive, you must go do this thing. I would do it more from a loving place and just be like, babe,
I'll be honest.
You'd look so good with more hair.
I'll be manipulative.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
I would really sit on his insecurities. Do you know how much this thing makes you feel so low?
Okay, yeah.
Don't you want to feel happy?
Yeah.
Like, anytime we're about to go out and he wears a hat, I'll be like, babe, there could be a day where you don't need that.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
there's a solution to what you're going through, baby. Let's work through this together.
Yeah. Do you remember, and I'm not saying that you should do this, I'm just bringing this up. Do you remember that guy that was trolling his... That was horrible. That was horrible. Don't do that. No, do you know what? I'm not even going to say it because I feel like it's going to seem like I'm trying to even plant that seed. But don't do it. That's bad.
I've got a question for you. Do you know how you hate men with hair? Like as in locks, K-rolls or whatever? K-rolls or locks or receding hairline?
Oh my God, the hair. The hair.
You could have bum length locks.
The hair, honestly, the hair all day. Because the thing is, Nick always threatens to do that because he says that before he dies, he has to have hair that he can shake.
Yeah, fair.
And he's like that. And I'm like, no, you don't need to have hair that you can shake.
Let the man be free, man.
But no. And he's like, I don't tell you what to do with your hair. And I'm just like, well, yes, but this is a double standard that I'm standing on. But no, definitely that, especially when guys are young. And also, actually, if a guy has the head shape to go bald, I'm not mad at a bald
And
head.
that's the thing. She said he's got funny head shape.
Yeah, but if they don't, then we need to look into other alternatives. But yeah, I wouldn't double down on the insecurity. But I would, when he brings it up, jump on it. You've got to be all over it. It's a part of your manipulation tactic. So when he says anything, like he could even just be like, past that hair. Just be like, hair? Oh yeah, about that. Literally, and honestly, if Turkey are playing football,
Turkey
just bring it up. Anything that's closely
Christmas,
related. Do you know what I mean? Like, people come to your door asking if you want to, be an organ donor. Transplant. You've just got to jump all over it. Like, any opportunity you get, you jump on it to make the conversation. Bring the conversation to the forefront.
It's not nice.
It's not nice.
Look, the nice thing to do is be like, okay, he's going through this thing. I love my boyfriend. Cool. That's a quirk my boyfriend has, isn't it? That's a nice, good person thing to do. So,
but the realistic thing is that you want to fancy him and you love him and you don't want to lose him. So we need to do something about it.
Yeah.
And I just think you should just continue to encourage him to get this thing fixed, because 23 is very young to lose your hair, And I know that is.
What?
Man weave? Hello?
Absolutely not.
I'm not
Audrey, no. There is no way that you're for man wigs, but not man crop tops.
No, I am. Fully. I've always been supportive of man wigs. However, there's really good ones now, Like, oh no, honestly, there's some
thought of
really,
me and my man sharing our
really
guts to be
good. No, but they don't have to do it in front of you. You don't glue your wigs down in front of men.
I don't even glue my wigs down.
Exactly, there you go. He doesn't have to do it in front of you. But honestly, some of these wig, hair replacement, because that can just be a temporary situation.
True.
Until you save up to get the hair transplant. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to send you some links.
Audrey, go away.
There's people that do really good ones. Honestly, you'd have no idea. And basically what they do is, they go and get a frontal, that's that's like an afro, but then they glue it on the part that's missing. They glue it down with a very, very strong super bonding glue. They can wash it and everything. Then they just shave it down as if he's in
that's
the barbers.
What Brent has.
Is it? See? And it slaps, isn't it?
Yeah.
See? Honestly, I'm actually being so deadly serious because they look so good. And afterwards, it proper takes years off these men because they go in with baby faces, but with that,
the transformation,
but the transformation is insane.
Yeah.
And I really think that could be a temporary solution to this problem.
But stop giving temporary solutions to the poorest of the poor. If you continue to give temporary solutions,
I know
to the poorest of the poor.
Right, this is just until they save up to get the transplant.
The thing is, we don't know if he can't afford a transplant.
Yeah, that's very true.
We don't even know if he wants a transplant.
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like he can afford it. I don't know why.
They're not that expensive, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants it. I don't think he wants it.
Oh, God.
The thing is, this is not going to affect him until he's 25. Where are these boys? Why are his boys not mocking him? This is when you need them people to be cool.
Yeah.
This is when boy banter needs to go up a level and they need to start calling him Baldy.
They're focused on the wrong things.
Baldy O'Leary. Start calling him names. The boys need to be cool, not you.
Yeah.
Because normally that's what does it. It's really the girls.
Do you think it'll be disrespectful she spoke to one of his boys?
Yes.
Yeah,
please don't.
Disrespectful,
What's going to happen is when you guys are going to get married, it's got a big event and it's going to be like shit. That's why I clocked. Every guy that I know that's done it before their wedding.
Yeah. I'm not being funny. They look so horrible in the in-between process. It actually makes me itch.
My God.
Sorry, I know.
We're not helping anything.
No, not at all.
Next dilemma. We're so sorry you're going through this and we love you. Hope that helps.
I feel really, really sorry for you, babe. I hope you figure it out. But
it's so funny because we were talking about this weekend.
Yeah, we were, wasn't it? Yeah, we actually were.
And Audrey was like, his hairline is
disgusting. Sorry, I don't like it at all. I really just think it ages them.
It does age
That's
them.
the only thing. It just ages you. And it's such a shame because you're not actually like an older guy.
She said, what wicked has he done in his past life? There.
Okay, next dilemma?
Next dilemma.
Please keep me anonymous, as we always do. Dear Tolly and Audrey, girls, first and foremost, thank you for blessing us with your upper echelon wisdom.
Ooh.
I started listening to you guys only 2 years ago since feeling homesick after COVID. I'm not religious, but may God bless you too.
Amen.
Thank you. All right, here is my dilemma.
Let's hear
I'm the
it.
younger brother who unfortunately had to pick up the slack as my older brother has always been lazy. I graduated uni and got the best grades in school while still being the youngest, but my brother got kicked out of college and dossed about. After moving to Norway to continue my long distance relationship, my relationship turned sour with my dad. Fast forward 10 years, my father passed quick from cancer, of which my brother only told me he was getting worse 4 months before he died. It was a very difficult time as I had just lost my job and at the time had just had my baby son. Not only did I not have the time to travel, but I didn't have the cash. My brother and mother has not shown an ounce of interest of getting to know my kids after the first year. It saddens me as I've brought this up multiple times to them both, but nothing has changed. Not only this, but we share multiple properties in London. He has not shared these at all and has developed a God complex. What should I do? If it was not for my wife, I would have not tried so many times to make this work. So I think that he's feeling a bit isolated from his family. His dad died and his mum and brother live, I'm guessing, here, and he lives in Norway with his family, and he feels like they don't show any interest in his family and his children.
I can't remember who he had on, but they said something about, I'm going to mess it up, accepting rather than expecting.
Yeah, who said that?
Someone said that.
J.
Is it Jessie J? Yeah, I can't remember. Someone said that, and it stuck with me. And like, you know what? That's true. I think there are some times where we're just like, we want it to be like this, we want it to be like this, and sometimes we just have to accept it for what it is. Like, as in, especially when it comes to the relationship that you want them to have with your son. Like you said, you've brought it up, and they haven't changed. Like your brother hasn't changed, your mother hasn't changed. Maybe there are people who need to be near you to love you.
Yeah.
I don't know how some people work. I think with things like with the property and document, that one we need to get in line. Like, as in, that one is not about relationships or whatever. One day, come to London, sign all the documents. This belongs to you. This belongs to this. So everybody just knows what that is, and that's legal, because that's something that you can divvy up by law, by paper. The love that they have for your son, you can't do that, right? I think maybe and this is incredibly, it's easy to say but hard to do. It's time to accept that your family is your wife and your son, and whatever family you guys make from then on, or what your friendships and people around you. Sometimes family is just by title, not by role.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And what I was going to say as well is I definitely think it's an out of sight, out of mind thing. And I don't always think that that's necessarily intentional. Do you know what I mean? I don't necessarily think that people are trying to be mean when they behave in that way, but that's what it feels like. You're far away, you're not within arm's reach. And of course there's things that you can do. We have technology now, we have FaceTime, we have the phone and all the rest of it. But I totally agree. I feel like outside of talking to them, you can't force people to love you or to show love in the way in which you want to. Yeah. And I don't doubt that your family love you. Do you know what I mean? So like what Tolly's saying, it might be a thing where you have to accept that they love you, but how they can't show you how you want them to show you. And you can't teach people these things, unfortunately. Like, people give what is within their capacity. So I think it might be worth saying it one more time, just being like, I don't know how you've communicated it. I'm going to assume that you've tried, everywhere under the sun. But if it were me, I would give it one more shot and just be like, guys, I'm really feeling like isolated. I really feel like you guys don't care about your nieces and nephews, or your grandson. I would like for more effort to be made, blah, blah, blah. And also, like, I assume that you are making the effort, but also sometimes it's like, if we want something, we kind of just have to go get it. So I wonder if they're not receptive when you're trying, or if you're trying, or because I know that I can be guilty of that sometimes. Like, if I can want something, but in my mind, it's only in my mind. I haven't really put it out there. And so I'm like expecting people to know exactly how to show me love. And these people have got no clue. They're just thinking everything's fine. And I'm just hoping that they get it. And it's like, sometimes you actually have to tell people like how you want to receive whatever it is you want to receive. So again, I don't know what these conversations have looked like when you've brought it up, but I'm going to assume that you've communicated in a very thorough way to them. But I would probably just try one more time. And then if you didn't get anything back, then just accept that it is what it is until you see them. And I don't know if there's like a world in which you're traveling over here, but I definitely think that you need to sort out this property stuff, because that's stuff that you're entitled to.
Yeah.
And I think, get what's yours, get what's owed. And that might even be a catalyst for a conversation. Do you know what I mean? It might not necessarily be, on the lovey-dovey terms that you want, but it's still talking. Do you know what I mean? So it's sad, of course, but I don't think that you know, and you mentioned that your brother's passed and stuff like that, it also feels like your mum gives your brother more of attention, and because you're the good kid, and sometimes the good kid can get overlooked.
Yeah.
That's also something to consider. It's just like, I don't think your mum, I don't know your mum, and I don't know, you know, the intimate details of your relationship, but it feels like your brother probably gets more attention, or it feels like they're closer because he just needs her more. Whereas you seem like you've got your shit together, you've moved away, you've got your family, you've got your kids and all the rest of it. So your mum might not feel like she needs to baby you as much. So I think that that's also something to consider. But I think, go and get what's yours. That one.
Yeah.
Don't wait around with that one.
2 things. I don't know if you saw it absolutely ages ago. Someone had tweeted to be like, do a will, your kids don't love each other as much as you think they do. They will, like, they don't. Like, I think even they think they love each other more than that. And then things like that happen. They're like, oh, there, buddy. Actually, that's mine. This belongs to me. And I want to do this with mum's house or dad's house or whatever. And also, like, look, justice for everybody whose firstborns have not been the best firstborns ever. Because I think there's this thing that goes around as if the firstborns of every family are always the best child, always the hardest working and look after the whole family. Many people, their firstborn siblings have just not been that.
Yeah. Or they've rebelled.
Yeah.
Because it was probably headed towards that. And
they were like, no,
I don't want that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want this responsibility put on me or whatever. Yeah, there's so many reasons why someone might not be the perfect firstborn child, but it sounds like he does have that expectation. Like, but you're the oldest now. Why are you such a flop? And maybe your brother feels that. I don't know. Like, I think that sometimes introspection is also important. Like, I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings at all, but there might be bigger reasons as to why they're keeping their distance. I just think all of these things are just worth like talking about, and if not, just accepting it for what it is.
And I can imagine it being incredibly heartbreaking that your mother and your brother are not making an effort with your child, because I do think people have kids and they have this like lovely and rightfully so expectation that like it'll bring their families together and people will dote around the grandkid and they'll have that lovely like, especially when I think you've lost someone in the family and then someone was born. I think that always has a really lovely effect on the family, because like, oh cool, there was this thing that brings us together again after you've lost someone. Yeah. And maybe that was your expectation. Okay, dad has died, I've had this kid, this will be a boost.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just hasn't done that. So I think maybe that's where your disappointment lies.
Yeah, I feel so as well.
But yeah. Next dilemma?
Next dilemma.
Hi girls, congratulations on your new space. As it's the norm to start off giving you your flowers, you actually make my work days and force my colleagues to listen to your new episodes and put them on when they haven't heard about the podcast.
Oh,
May God continue to keep our girls blessed and happy. Amen. So let me try keep this short and sweet. So my friend Sarah and I have been friends since primary school. We are now in our early 30s and we'll probably say we're on different trajectories in life. As I am over the whole party scene, which I did more in my 20s and which Sarah hasn't been able to do due to religion and a strict family. But now that she's older, she has a little more freedom and is out partying multiple times a week. So the dilemma, Sarah recently started drinking more heavily and having sex. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to some good fuckboys and fun, but worried that since she started having sex, she slept with multiple men without protection. In a few months, and she has never been tested till this day. I've spoken to her about the importance of making sure she gets tested before she does anything else, as I am aware at least one of the men she's messing with is married and sleeping with other women and increases the risk of disease. Forget about the pregnancy at this point. I've sent links where she can get tested, but I don't think she's taking it seriously, as she says she doesn't know how to bring up the conversations with the men and give her pointers like, I don't think we should have sex without protection until we have both got tested. But I have a feeling she won't use these as she will be more worried about offending them or just them in general more than her health. So please help. I'm not sure what else I can do. I've sat her down and I don't know if I should involve any other friends in the same group and have an intervention, but they don't know how sexually active she is. I'm actually quite against interventions.
Yeah, I think it's quite invasive.
Especially with things like this, especially when it's like, it's that one friend that knows something.
Yeah, now
everybody now knows my business.
Yeah, exactly.
You now make that person feel a bit... Like, I think we have to be in dire positions for us to do intervention.
And I also don't think that's going to help. I don't think it will help.
That will embarrass her. She'll like just stay far away from you guys and I don't think she'll be interested.
She just won't tell you anything.
Yeah. I think with the sexual health stuff, it's not about what she's saying to the men. You go get yourself tested. Outside of like, if you decide that, which I think is insane, that you're going to have casual sex without protection, mad to me.
Very mad.
Go and get yourself checked out every single time. Like, it's not about, but I don't know what to say to them. What do you mean I don't know what to say to them? Go check yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it got to do with them?
Exactly. Like, I don't know why she's taking like paracetamol for their headache.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, she should definitely be very self-aware about what's going on with her body and like protect her body and her health at the end of the day. Listen, at the end of the day, she's been somewhat like coddled. And she's been like, what's the word when... Sheltered. She's been somewhat sheltered.
Did you ever have that at uni? I remember the first year of uni.
Yeah.
I remember the first year of uni and you could see the girls who never went out. Oh, it was insane because they were like high off this freedom of the, what do you mean? Exactly. I've got a bedroom to myself.
A bedroom.
No one's checking when I get in. There is no curfew. I can drink. It was... Do you know when you see a kid go mad of sweets? Like these girls are going mad of alcohol and dick.
Yeah.
Going insane.
I had a girl like that on my floor. Oh my God. She came from a very, very sheltered upbringing, very religious background. And she let loose in uni.
Yeah.
And like literally we would go knock for her for lectures and she would wake up at the time we're leaving and she would like still be in her pajamas like with a next guy in the room every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she came to uni a virgin. I do think that like some people have that experience at the end of the day. And I do think, you know, it can be a part of life, but it doesn't matter how sheltered you've been. If anything, I would think that if you've been sheltered, you'd want to be more protective of your health because it's just like, do you know what I mean? So,
but I think it's when you start late, you learn things later.
Yeah, it's very true.
The lessons that she's learning in her 30s is what she should have learned when she was in her early 20s.
Yeah.
So she's just like, I don't know what to say to the guy. At 30, I could tell a guy anything I'm having sex with because I'm like, we are both grown in this, right? You got to a point of maturity that's like, hey, I'll fling you a text, here's my results. You fling me one back, cool, let's get it popping. But that's because by that age, you've learned from the things that you should know. When you're in your early 20s, it's like, I don't want him to think I'm a slag.
You've had life experiences.
I don't give a shit what you think.
100%. Every life experience just builds you up for your future.
Yeah, remember when it was taboo for girls to carry condoms? Have
your condoms.
She doesn't need to even have a pre-chat with them. When it's getting on, here, can you put this on, please?
Exactly. Like she should not be letting men have this much control and ownership and autonomy over her. Like she needs to take the autonomy. And I think that's what I would reframe the conversation to be. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like that will trickle down into the protection thing. And I mean, there's only so much you can do. I feel like if it was your friend that was writing in, I'd be like, girl, stand up, like stand on business. Like don't let these men take advantage of you because they don't like condoms or whatever. Like your health must always come first when you're having casual sex. That would be the number one thing. But you're the friend that's writing in. And I feel like you've done everything a friend is supposed to do. You've sent her links, you've given her advice, you've talked to her. Unfortunately, she may have to learn the hard way. But what I would do is talk to her about, because the reason why she can't even bring herself to ask them to wear condoms or to go get checked out is because she has this overarching feeling of like, she wants to be the good,
sexy girl.
Do you know what I mean? She doesn't want to taint the moment with the conversation because that feels unsexy and all of that stuff. But it's not unsexy when you get your results and you've got something, unfortunately. Do you know what I mean? Because then she's going to turn around and, you know, have massive, massive regret. So I would just be like, listen, no one is going to hate you for insisting you wear a condom. No one is going to hate you. Like, if someone hates you for that, you shouldn't be fucking them in the first place. That is very dodgy. Like,
because also these men want to keep safe as well. Surely.
Exactly. Surely no one wants to get anything. We want to enjoy sex and enjoy the, you know, the pleasures of sex, but at the same time, there's things that come attached to sex, and we have to, you know. So I would just continue to do what you're doing. I would just continue to drum home the point, let her know that, like, you know, it's very, very possible that you can catch something. Like, don't think that, you know, you've gotten away with it and all the rest of it. But it is very possible the more people you're sleeping with, not using anything. I would just keep doing what you're doing, but I don't think there's anything more that you can do.
Do you know what? I'd actually do a test and brunch date. I know that sounds really childish and ridiculous, but I think where your friend is at, she's very immature. I think sometimes meet people like where they're at.
Behind,
she's in her 30s, but she's very behind when it comes to her sexual experiences. She's very almost childlike when it comes to sexual experiences. And I don't know about you guys, but me and my friends used to go and get tested together. Like, because it was like we'll be like, oh yeah, if we all go together, then it feels less like scary or whatever. So I think there is something in that, like, oh babe, I want to go do my routine check. Booked an appointment. Book yours the same day. We'll go and we'll go grab some brunch after.
Also, we have home tests now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're too embarrassed to go to the doctor, you can order these things online now. They come straight to your house. You can get the results, some of them the same day, some of them you send off, whatever it is. But if she doesn't want to face that because maybe it's too daunting, I get it. Do you know what I mean? I get that feeling of like, you don't want the results, you don't want the anxiety of having to wait, all the rest of it. I understand it, but all of that has to go out the window. Like, your health has to trump all of that stuff. So
I actually genuinely think go somewhere with her. I think she is immature when it comes to sex and sexual health and things like that. And thinking about what we used to do when we were immature about this, you go with your friends. Or do you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, oh, you'd all go to the university's STI thing and you go get checked together.
Go get your condoms.
Like, do you get what I mean? Like, your friends will tell you, oh, I get my morning after pill from here. You'd all go together to go get it. And I think just meet her there. That's where she's at.
Yeah, that's very true actually, because you've got a certain level of maturity when it comes to relationships and sex and stuff like that, and she just doesn't.
Yeah,
so
she's young. She just started. I mean, she's young in that field. She just started.
Because even when we were younger, like it was a mindset of like, this is not going to happen to me.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? It felt like something that was so far away, and I remember even for a long time, no one ever admitted that they ever had anything, and then eventually people would be like, oh yeah, you know, I caught this and I caught that, and it became a bit more. But even now, it's still very taboo. Yeah. So again, I
remember I used to test it all the time because I knew my boyfriend was a cheat.
Yeah.
Like, I was a serial tester. Like, because I just knew that man cheated.
Yeah, I was not playing with my health at all. And I didn't like it. So I understand where your friend's coming from. So I didn't like it. Like, I just didn't want to deal with the anxiety of waiting for the results. But honestly, you do forget about it. Like it plays on your mind for a little bit, and then you do forget about it. And then you get that text, but then after you get that test, after you get the results of being all clear, oh my God, you don't even. You're like a couple wet wipes in case the bum tried to touch me. Ew. Do you know what I mean? It's like you become so like health conscious when you get those results of all clear. You're just like, oh, can you put a napkin in between before you hold my hand? Like you just become so like anti-back everywhere because your results came back and you're not trying to like go through that again. So yeah, but I agree. Go with her, encourage her to have it sent home, do whatever, but she must be getting tested and she just don't stop talking to her about it.
Anytime I think about my sexual health, I always think about this lovely woman that was at Ilford. And normally I used to hate being seen by a black nurse. Yeah, because I just felt judged.
But yeah, I do think they were kind of judging.
Even if they weren't, I think it was just the familiarity of the like, oh my
this could
God,
be my aunt.
This could be my aunt. This could be someone. Like, I just felt they used to look at me like, what are you doing? Like, why are you having sex?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I just thought that they used to see me like that. Yeah. And there was this woman in Ilford. She was so lovely. I used to get my morning, not morning after, but I used to get the pill from her. And that would catch up, have like lovely chats. And she just never was judging. I would even tell her about relationship problems. I'm like, this guy, she'd be like, just leave him. What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Because when you see them for years, it's like the same person you see all the time. And I remember going in there one time and being like, oh, come to see. And they was like, she's not here. And I was like, what do you mean? They was like, she's died. What do you mean? Oh my God, shut up. Oh my God, Audrey, it shook. I was like, sorry, what? She was older, but she wasn't that older.
Oh no, rest in
peace. And then that gave me the thing for her funeral. It shook me to the core. And I was like, sorry, what is everybody saying?
I was not expecting that.
I stopped going. I was like, because every time I go there, I'm not going to go see someone new.
Yeah, of course not. She knows everything about you.
Quickly after I just, on us, stopped having sex altogether. I was like, you know what? Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah, no, all those people in the field, they should be,
And I don't think they realize how much of the effects they just have on someone to be like she was such a source of comfort every time I'd go in there. Because I'd just go get my people. She'd be like, come, let's have a chat.
Yeah.
And I'll just like chat with her, but then go.
Oh, I love people that are good at their jobs. R.I.P. to her.
Yeah. It was, do you know the new one? It was not new, but it's in Ilford. It's by Ilford Lane. It's like a family. Do you know before they used to have little family clinics everywhere? Yeah. But now they're just in a big health clinic now. Yeah, they're not in a... They really used to have services before.
We really used to have services.
Oh my God, we used to have services.
Yeah, I know.
There was a sexual health clinic every 5 minutes.
And you could go everywhere. You can go, they really open for long. Now I feel like they're not open for that long.
Mate.
It's like I feel like come between 11 and 4.
Bag of condoms. So you're
you walk out with
walk out with a bag of condoms. You can't get shit anymore.
I don't know if they give out condoms anymore.
Do they give out free morning after pills still?
I don't think so. But I saw something on the news that I think that it's going to be free soon. They haven't implemented it yet, but I saw the woman that was working on the campaign to make the morning after pill free, because they were saying that if that's free, then in turn, then there may be less abortions.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So
Let me tell you how invested I am in your life, dear. The other day I was watching the news and there was news about a post office in your area that was shutting down.
Oh my God. Oh, I think I know the post office.
And I just sat there, I was like, this is going to really affect all.
It is because I love my local post office.
I was proper thinking about it. I was like, this is really going to affect her.
Yeah. It better not be the tenant.
It is.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's another one
where she says exactly where she lives, please.
Oh my God, yeah, exactly. But there's another one that they've closed that down already.
Yeah, someone else was saying that, and then this was one, and they're closing this one down. Now your next one's going to be in thingy, South.
No, that is actually abysmal.
Yeah, I was going to tell you. I was like,
because that one is literally 5 minutes away from my house. I go and do all my returns there.
Yeah, it's getting shut down.
No, I'm screwed.
Yeah. The post office has gone to shit.
It actually has.
Fuck me.
It actually has.
Royal Mail, what's happened here? It's got independent now, isn't it? Is that what it is? Oh, is it? Oh, okay, cool. It's just gone to shit then. We can't have anything. No free condoms, no free morning after. There's no post office.
But I've got another
We used to be a country.
Rant? I never know how to say it. Is it rant or rant? I fucking hate self-service.
Yeah.
I actually hate it in everywhere. I went to my local Londis.
Londis
is getting bougie, telling us that we've got to do self-service. No one wants to work anymore.
People want to work. Corporations don't want to
we want to, like, honestly, it is so frustrating. Like, I hate it. Like, I just feel like I am going to work. I really hate it, especially in Zara.
Close shops.
Zara is the worst. Why am I taking out? Exactly. And then you have to pay for a bloody bag. After I've served myself, I now have to pay 30p so that I have somewhere to put the stuff.
Yeah.
I think that is fucking disgusting. Like, I'm really, really, really thoroughly against it. Like, I'm not mad at it in the supermarket because it is speedier. But when I go and I'm spending money on clothes, I want the full service. Like, I want people to, be at the tills and ask me how my day was. But anyway.
The thing about self-service for me, it really sees into my habit to steal. I just really don't want to be stuff.
If they start losing money because of it, I'll have no sympathy for them, because what do you expect?
Because I go to scan, like, let's say a croissant, and you have to look it up, bakery.
Yeah.
And it's how many have you got?
They don't make it easy.
One.
Exactly. And the other day I bought something in H&M, and I was convinced that I took all the tags off, got home, and the bloody tag was on there.
That's so annoying.
So now I've got to go all the way back. And thank God I had my receipt. I mean,
thank God.
It's just such a faff. It's such a faff. But anyway, run over.
Welcome to England.
Exactly. Next dilemma. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
In advance, thank you for reading my dilemma and providing your insights into people's struggles. Your podcast has made the working day go so quickly since I started listening to it back in 2018.
Yeah.
Now for my dilemma. After uni, I started getting serious about my journey with Christ, and I started to make changes in the way I live every day. I broke up with my boyfriend of 2 years after deciding I wanted to abstain from sex, and my partner at the time was not willing to wait. He now has a partner and a baby.
Ugh.
This was back in 2021, and since then, dating has been such a struggle. I am very successful in my job, just bought my first place, have a good work-life balance so I can spend time with my family and friends. But the one thing that feels like it's missing is a partner. My single friends who aren't abstinent are complaining about how tough dating is right now. I can't lie, at times it sounds like men hate women these days, and then adding the extra layer of no sex is hard. I have tried going on dating sites. Hinge is scary and Bumble has been all right. And I'd get to the first date, but as soon as I mention I don't have sex, they either ghost me, things fizzle out, or they outright just say it's not for them. I'm losing hope, and at times I have contemplated compromising my position on abstinence, but I know ultimately I will not be happy, but it is knocking my confidence because of how many times I'm getting rejected because of this one decision. I do say sometimes people rejection is God's protection, but it does also have an impact. Any suggestions on how to firstly maintain my confidence whilst facing rejection, and any tips to not get stagnant in my dating life because it's getting boring to flick through profiles and I work from home most days, so less opportunities to meet people. Thank you.
Look, none of these men are worth breaking your absence. Like, none of them are worth breaking that thing for. Unless you want to do it, don't do it because you're going to get more men. Because even your friends that are having sex are telling you it's hell.
Exactly.
So it's not like your friends that are having sex are like, oh, babe, it's made it so much easier. And like, oh, look, now I've got a man. It's either way. And I think with the rejection thing, right, tell yourself true stories. You're getting rejected because of the sex thing.
Exactly.
It's not because of anything to do with your character, nothing to do with your looks, nothing to do with how you hold yourself. It's because of this thing. And this is a path you're choosing to take. Whoever's not on that path with you is not someone you can date. I think even some men would be like, oh, they're in their mind, they'll be like, you wait, I'll be the one to break it. Like, it's actually good you're getting men to be like, let me tap out. Because someone that wicked, someone will be like, okay, I can do that. But the whole time in their mind, they're trying to figure out how they can be the one to make you break it. Do you know what? I'd also say, this is going to sound so lame, go and find relationships where men like this would exist, men who are also on this journey would exist. I don't think it's actually possible, really, to have a relationship with someone who is not who is not abstaining and you're abstaining. I don't actually think it's realistic.
Totally.
Like, I think you need to be in line with someone who's also abstaining, so you're both on the same journey, you're both doing what you need to do, and just go to the places where these things look, it's not just church. Look, COVID has done a number of us. Now we've all got too comfortable watching church online. COVID is done.
Go to the building.
Like, we can go inside to the building. And I'm not saying go to the building just to go to the church building just to find a man, right? But like, it's going to push your social circles. Like, you're going to meet other people. You're going to meet like-minded people. There's events that people are doing Christian-like events, like Christian-led events, sorry. There are spaces where these people exist. Again, I'm not saying they're not going to be mad, because one thing Christian men are going to be is mad. They'll just sprinkle a bit of Jesus to soften the blow. But it's still going to be a mad ride. Dating is just a mad ride.
Yeah.
At the moment. And it's got nothing to do with you. And I think the confidence thing, remember that. And it's going to be hard. You're going to think, oh, it's a me thing. Why doesn't anyone like me? Why is it not thinking? But again, tell yourself stories that are the truth.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the conviction was strong because you broke up with your boyfriend over it. Do you know what I mean? So that message that came through telling you to do this was very, very powerful, because you could have just stayed with your boyfriend, but you said that, you wanted to abstain and the relationship wasn't going to serve you, and you did that. So you have the tools, you have the power within you to push through this. And I totally agree. Like, I don't think that, like, in the email, you basically said that you would consider going back on your own, like, desire.
Not for this
in hopes of meeting someone. And I do not think that is a good place to start. Exactly, because it may not even make a difference. And then what do you have to lean on? Do you know what I mean? So I would definitely stay on that journey. Like, there was a reason why you felt you needed to do that and you needed to push through. And listen, it's hard. Do you know what I mean? When you make these kind of promises to yourself and to God, there's going to be temptations. There's going to be things that come in and test you. And right now, what you're going through is a massive test. And that's not to say that two things can't be true at the same time. I completely get it. Like, it can be a test and it's a trying time, but you still want this thing, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be partnered and desiring that. Like, you're only human. But I definitely think that you have the power within you to push through. And I totally agree. Like, it's not a you thing. Like, you're not getting rejected for anything other than this filtering process of guys that are like, oh, well, if you're not having sex, then I can't be with you. And those are not the kind of guys you want at the end of the day. So I think that, yeah, I just think for me, the concerning part was that you were considering on going back on yourself, thinking that it was going to make a difference. And I just don't want you to do that. And it still doesn't work out. So do it if you want to do it, but not because you're thinking that it's going to make things easier in the dating space or whatever. But I totally agree with what Tolly was saying. You have to be in spaces that make sense. You have to put ourselves out there in places that might be a bit uncomfortable, that might be a bit, new to us. And I feel like sometimes people, and I'm not saying that this is you, but just in general, people are like, I want to do this thing, but I want to turn, I'm not referring to men as like whores, but it's like you can't turn like a whore into a housewife, whatever the saying is. Do you know what I mean?
So it's like a whore into a husband.
Yeah, so it's like you're trying, exactly, you can't turn a whore into a husband. So it's like you want the guy with maybe the sauce and the this and the that, and you think you're going to meet him on Hinge, and then hoping that like you can change his mind, when actually you probably can find someone that has the same values as you, that's on the same journey as you. Because I totally agree, I don't think you're going to meet, unless, I don't know if there's some filtering system that you can find these people on Hinge, but I think for the most part, most people that are on those kind of dating sites probably are not abstaining for the most part. Again, I'm not well versed in them. But yeah, put yourself in places for sure where there's going to be like-minded people and see what happens. So I think that, it doesn't mean you have to be passive just because this is your journey. No, like you can still be active and look for what you want, but it's just about doing it in places and spaces that make sense. So maybe if you've tried Hinge and that doesn't seem to be working, you've tried other dating apps and that doesn't seem to be working, go elsewhere.
Outside
do your
time.
research. Yeah, exactly. And you said you work from home a lot. You might have to force yourself to go outside. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if there is an office situation where you have the option to go in, but if it means going to the office a couple of days a week, go to the office a couple of days a week. Like, make yourself available to be toasted. Do you know what I mean? You've got to go. If you want this thing, then you have to be active and go look for it as well. So yeah, but stay strong, sis.
I've got a theory.
What's your theory?
And this is not directed to you. I've got a theory about, I think sometimes Christian women believe getting closer to God and abstaining then the reward then becomes the husband.
They're going to bring their dream guy.
I've seen so many women be like, I'm going to get closer to God. And then as my, well done, my child, he's going to then give me my husband.
That's because so many women have shared that story.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry. I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, me either.
Like, I've seen so many women be like, what do you mean, God? I've stopped doing this. I've stopped. Where is he? And I think sometimes women get closer to God and do that. Oh, I'm not going to have sex. I'm not going to do this. And then my prize at the end of it is going to be the man.
Yeah. I agree. Even if they don't say it out loud.
I think a lot of people do it.
I think there's a lot of that subconsciously.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
And then it's God, why is this not happening for me? But I stopped having sex.
I've done everything you've asked of me.
I stopped doing this. I started dressing modestly. Like, where is my prize?
Megan Good did that. She said that. Like she talked about that quite actively, saying that, you know, she was looking for a husband and so she decided to be abstinent, and then that's when she met her husband. And she's not the only one. Like, I've heard that story so many times of people sharing that experience. Yeah. So I think that it kind of gives other women a full sense of hope, because it's just like, oh, this person did it and it worked out for them. But again, all of these things are
and the
nuanced.
Frustration comes from, it's like, why is it not working out for me?
Yeah.
And I just think we should check in on that. I don't have a fully fledged theory, but I just think we should check in on that. Yeah. Because sometimes that's not going to be the prize.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that shouldn't be the prize you're looking for. The prize should be like the closer relationship you get with God and the peace you have in your life and all of that. It shouldn't be, and then I get rewarded with a good man.
Yeah, exactly.
But check on that. Next dilemma. Hey girls, love the podcast. I've been here from the beginning. You will always have a loyal listener with me. Aww. Where you go, I will go with full support. No stalker, I promise, just love. Sweet. Thank you very much. My dilemma feels like a very grown-up one for me. I think I need a bit of guidance. My boyfriend and I have been together less than a year. He is a few years older than me and he has bought his own property. Prior to meeting my boyfriend, my plan was to move back home with my mum and save for my own property after renting in London for a few years and blowing all of my paycheck, no regrets. I'm now saving quite a lot of living at home with my mum, and I think in the next year or two, I'll be ready to buy my own little place. However, being in a new relationship has always thrown a spanner in the works. I should mention that I moved home before meeting my boyfriend, as my boyfriend often talks about how I shouldn't worry too much about saving an entire house deposit on my own, as in the next year or two, he would love for us to own a home together, which would of course mean he would be paying half or more of the deposit too. He has dreamt of this picture for us where he would rent out his current home and then income would be able to either cover the bills in our shared house or go towards our holiday fund each year. However, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about that dream I have for my own, to own my own little 2-bedroom house and to decorate it colourful and bright and make my own dream come true. I never really saw this with a partner, if I'm honest, and I think I'm struggling to adjust from my happy little independence. It's not that I wouldn't love to dream of owning a home with him, it's just that my own goals are there too. For context, I'm 29 and he's 32. So we're at the point where these conversations are quite common. Our relationship is definitely in for a long haul. Girls, this man is my dream man. I could tell you all the reasons why I love him, but we'll be here forever. Do you ladies have any advice on owning your own homes before buying with a partner? Or do you think it's a bit of a red flag on my part that I still want him to have my own house first before buying with him? Is it unfair that I'm a bit jealous of him because he's already got the experience of living on his own? Your advice or general chit chat about this would be really helpful, as I don't have anyone around me preparing to buy a home. When I try to talk to my friends about this, they say I should just be happy I found someone great and to buy a home with him and let go of my dream of a small solo home. But I think they are a bit biased by their own dating lives, and I don't want to make decisions from the scarcity mindset like I always have in the past. I really trying to do better and not lose myself in a happy relationship. Love always, a loyal listener. Go and buy your own house.
Go, honestly.
Go. This, like, him having his space, you having your space doesn't deter you guys from then eventually having your own space together. As someone who has bought their house, I cannot tell you, there's very little that I do that I feel immense, like, achievement. And buying my house was one of the things that just made me feel so full and proud of myself. I think it's not easy. It's hard to get there, especially if it's something you've dreamt for yourself. Some people don't have that dream. Their thing is that, like, I'll move to my mum's house and me and my partner will buy a home, and that's their dream. You can have these two dreams. You can have your own space, like you said, your own little 2-bedroom place that you decorate it how you want. Even if you live there for 2 years and you rent it out, it's still in your name. You still have it. Live there for 2 years and then you eventually sell it. I think he rightly so, has given himself a cushion of, I've bought this house, I'm going to rent it out, then we'll buy ourselves together. And that's fine. That's a lovely timeline. And babe, I hear you. That's really great. But also, I've always desired to have this thing too. So let me get mine as well. And then, hey, look at that. 2 incomes. I rent mine out, you rent yours out. We can even get a bigger house. More money for deposit. I can't imagine a world where you owning something is ever going to be a negative, especially when it fits into a dream that you've always had for yourself. I've always had a dream for myself of buying a home. Like, really, I keep saying to myself that I want a new house, and I'm talking about it like it's a new top. I think I want to buy a new house. And soon that small tingly thing is going to overwhelm me, and I'm going to start working towards getting a new house. But I think if it's a dream and something that you want, absolutely do it. Like, I cannot tell you how much of achievement I feel like I've achieved something. And some people might not see it as an achievement, but I definitely feel like I've saved up, bought this property, decorated it how I want, do what I want with it. And I love that.
100%. And you should be very proud of yourself. I always see like bricks and mortar as like, and having that ownership as like a very, very big thing. And I couldn't agree more. Like, I am always going to be an advocate for having your own. And do you know what? It's really nice. This is actually a very lovely dilemma. This is actually a very lovely problem to have, because you've got a guy that is obviously very forward thinking. He's obviously, he's incorporating you in his plans. Yeah. But at the same time, he's done what he needs to do for himself. Do you know what I mean? And I don't even get the feeling that he's trying to deter you on like a controlling thing. I think he's just, he's genuinely just making plans for your future, and that's lovely. And I don't doubt, if you're saying all these amazing things about him, if you communicate with him, he'll be offended in any way, shape, or form. Because as Tolly said, how does this not benefit everybody involved? Like, there is absolutely there is no negative for you having this dream for yourself and fulfilling it. Yeah. Absolutely nothing, because you probably will end up with your boyfriend. It just means that you have more properties under your name, and for everything that Tolly said. But for me, the important thing is just having something for yourself. And it's nice that you've got a partner that wants to bring you in his life plans and all the rest of it, but always have something for yourself. Yep. Like, I would never encourage women to put their whole entire lives in the hands of a partner or a man and have nothing for themselves. I think you should have something, even if it's passive, even if it's in the background, making money for you. And I think that is a really lovely dream. And actually, I've said on this platform before, I implore you, if you can, live on your own before you move in with someone. Like, I really think it's a very important thing. And I know a lot of people like go from home into their marital homes, and there's nothing wrong with that. That was what I did. Like, I lived at home, moved in with Nick, and I didn't have that like living on my own experience. And one of the benefits I would say that I got from our separation was doing that and getting that kind of out of my system. So I'd just never done it before. I'd never been independent, never outside of uni, but I don't think that really counts. But in terms of like living on my own and having my own space and being responsible for, I think it is an imperative, imperative, is that the word? I think it's an imperative part of like growing up, if you can. Again, I know it's not for everybody and it's not possible, and people have got to make it do what it do, like if it means that doing it with friends or whatever. But if you can, have that experience before you like live with someone and do all of that. And again, you don't have to do it forever and ever. You can do it for a year and a half. You can do it for a couple of years and then move in with your boyfriend. But if you have that desire, even if you didn't have the desire, I would encourage people to try and have something. Please. Yeah, you young girls out there, like, I know we're pushing this thing of the trad wife and the stay-at-home wife and the all of that, and it's lovely, but have something ticking over for yourself in the background. Never, ever, ever leave your whole entire livelihood, your, how you make your money, your income, all of that stuff completely in the hands of a partner, even if that partner is capable. And of course, like, if you can have that lifestyle and have a guy paying all your bills, and you have a husband that's a provider and all of that, amazing. But have something for yourself in the back. And it's not saying that they're going to like cheat on you, they're going to dog you out. They might not be great. They might lose their job. Exactly. They might get sick. Anything can happen. They might die. Like, as in, so many things can happen that will just be like, fuck. Exactly. I think oftentimes people think that, he's going to cheat on you and find something. It's not. It's not even just that. Like, that is a thing, but it could just be anything. The relationship could come to a natural end. And if you've set yourself up where you have to be completely dependent, the only people that should be completely dependent on anybody are children. And people that, and people that need to be. Other than that, if you were, a fully abled person, like, I would not encourage anybody being fully dependent on anybody that's a grown up. So I think that not only is it because it's a want and a desire, like it's actually imperative that you do this thing for yourself. And like, don't put your dreams on hold because of some guy at the end of the day, no matter how great he is. It's a dream that you've wanted for yourself and you should fulfill that. Like,
and also I find that men would admire that.
They do.
Like it's like, oh wow,
especially a guy like this. Yeah, a guy like this. Like he sounds great. I don't think he's going to discourage you in any way, shape, or form. I appreciate
you, I love you, and I trust in you and everything, but I've always wanted to achieve this thing. Let me do it. Yeah. I might live there for a year, but hey, I did that thing. I did the lawyer. I think like there was a reason why I would always like a picture with a key in the door.
Same.
I know what you went through to get to that moment because it is long. It is testing. It's expensive. Like it's expensive. There's so much you learn on the journey. Even like, oh my God, I don't think you understand the giddiness I used to get just going to go look at houses. Just like booking appointments to be like, yeah, I've got a viewing. I would be in the club on Rightmove. Yeah. I was obsessed with it. And you deserve that. Yeah. You saw something you wanted. I don't think it's like, oh, just cut yourself lucky, a man wants to do it for you.
No. Right. And then it is nice that he wants to do it for you, but no.
I also want to do it myself.
Exactly. You want to do it for yourself. And also in terms of the feeling of jealousy, listen, you've got a man that's done this, that knows what he's doing. Like, utilize that man. Get advice from him. I genuinely don't think that he's going to want to stop you or feel offended that you want to do this. Yeah. I really don't see that for you. I really see him being like, all right, babe, cool, like whatever. And just, utilize that man. You've got someone that's done it, that's been through the experience. And I would turn that feeling of jealousy actually into something that's going to like benefit you. Just be like, so I want to do the same thing and how can he help you? But
and that's what it is. Jealousy at its best is evidence of something you want.
And you already know you want this.
If you didn't want this thing, you would not be jealous of it. 100%. Many people I see them do many things and I don't give a rat's ass. Good for you.
Yeah.
But I think jealousy at its best is reflection of what it is that you truly want. And you feel this way because you want it.
And she said that because she was like, I feel jealous that he's had the opportunity to like live on his own and do his own thing. And you shouldn't begrudge yourself with that. Like you should absolutely have that experience as well. So yeah, I couldn't stress that enough.
Yeah, buy that house, girl.
Buy that house.
Even if you buy it just to rent it out, you buy it to let, buy that house.
It's still yours.
It's yours. Your name is on the lease. It is an absolutely great feeling. And it's not just people are like, oh, property is not. It's always going to bring money. It might not be as peak as what it was.
It's an asset.
But it's always going to be an asset. You actually can't convince me otherwise. You can be like, property has gone down, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But it's going to be one of the safest assets and it's an asset.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's my take on it.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. We hope you helped you guys out. Was that the last one?
Yes.
We hope you helped you guys out and you were able to feel like your receipts were answered. If you guys have any resolve or solutions, as you always do, you comment in the in everywhere. Friends, we're all friends and family here, right? I would like to grow our YouTube. That would be great. Like, listen everywhere, of course, but please subscribe and watch on YouTube as well. That would mean a lot to us. I've got a goal in my mind.
What's the goal? You don't want to say it
When we reach the goal, I'm going to do a great giveaway.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my plan.
And you know her giveaways are not small.
Yeah, I'm going to do a great big giveaway. And that's not even me. We are, Audrey.
No, we are. I'm involved as well. I'm involved.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. We hope we were able to help. I've been your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey. Bye.